Hey everyone, and welcome back. Our next guest is an artist and fashion designer making big waves from humble beginnings, growing up from Compton to the BX. He takes his inspirations from basketball and hip hop greats, and his "you work with what you have" mentality fueled his art and original sneaker redesigns, where he now works with major celebs, creating custom design sneakers and Timberlands for celebrities like Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, Snoop Dogg, and that's just to name a few. But without further ado, let's welcome artist and fashion designer Donnell Jigga Mcfadden Brooks. But we just call him Jigga. And inquiring minds want to know where the name Jigga came from. Welcome, Jigga.
Hey, what's up?
I know. Just your introduction alone was like,
Cool.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
Oh, no, we appreciate you. And I can't wait to share your story with our viewers because, I mean, what I presented was a introduction, a generic style introduction. But the truth of the matter is that that was kind of like, just the surface. And while we don't have all day to break it down for our viewers, I think it's important that we share with them how you even discovered this talent, because it's pretty dope. It's a great story. So thank you for being here to do so.
Of course.
So where shall we start? Shall we start with the fact that your business sector of it was actually founded by your daughter, who painted on a pair of boots by mistake?
Yeah, my oldest daughter, Jordan. Yeah, she was like 4 or 5, just turned 5. And we was in the house in the summer, and she, being a kid, she messed up a pair of her shoes and was coloring on it. And instead of like scolding her and being upset, I said, let me go get mine. And we just colored, went to get ice cream. We was chilling outside, and some lady came up to us, and she was like, oh, you painted those? And we was like, yeah. And at the time, it wasn't paint, it was like Sharpies and stuff like that.
Right. What year, more or less, are we talking about?
Like 2014.
2014, yeah. Okay.
And then she said, oh, I'll be back. I ain't never see this lady a day in my life in my block.
Right.
And she came back with some boots and a money, and that's how I started. So I was like, oh, I can make legit money. Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
So you got commissioned to paint somebody's Timberlands, right? And that's where it started.
Yeah.
That's where it started. So it kind of all started like almost like your daughter led you to this business in just by mistake, kind of, sort of. But ain't no such thing as a mistake.
Everything happened for a reason.
Right? So before, I kind of jumped straight to the business sector of it, but I do want to share with our viewers a little bit about your background coming from Compton and then into the Bronx and being an only child, and how you were able to create for yourself and to entertain yourself, because I find that an interesting background for our viewers to have a better understanding as to how it even led to where you are now.
Yeah, art was like it was a tool to help me get through my childhood.
Right.
Because we was in like, I wasn't poor, but I was poor growing up. And so I didn't really have like the toys and stuff like that, you feel me?
Right.
And then my mom had my brother, my second brother, and we like 3 years apart. So we were the one who really grew up.
Right,
so,
together.
Yeah, so like if she couldn't afford toys, I remember like randomly, I used to draw little cartoon figures, I used to cut them out and we used to play with them. It used to get us through our times.
Right.
And I never, as I got older, I was like, oh, snap. So I had this talent my whole life and really ain't tapped into it yet.
Right. You used it as survival skills.
Yeah.
Right?
Sounds crazy nowadays, but yeah, I had to do what I had to do.
But you were also in some form, comforting your brother too, right?
Yeah, it's like we had to stick together.
Right? And so, but here, who would have thought, out of paper and drawing, right? And then from paper and drawing, and having this means fulfill your entertainment styles, right? It became an entertainment style that you created, right? Because you did it from paper. Then from there, now, as we're fast forwarding, you grow up, you have a daughter, and your daughter draws on these tins by mistake, and and now you made it a business. And not only has this business evolved into the space of creating and designing for celebrities, you're passing it forward.
Yeah, she does it too. And then my second youngest does it too. They all into art, so it's just like a thing. It's in the blood.
All right. So, visiting your Instagram account, I was going through and I noticed that you have like this whole movement going on under Jigga. I think it's a contest. I believe we had a brief discussion with regards to assisting those who may be on probation, excuse me. And so I want to know, okay, so we already discussed all the celebs, and obviously there's money in that. And as an artist, I know that that can fluctuate. And now you've made it your business to pass it forward not only to your own children, to those who may be at risk, for lack of a better word. And so even though it's open to everybody, I want to talk about what that is. Like, what is there, like a prompt that's provided? Like, what is that? What does that look like?
Basically, like, it's like kind of how I started, but like you said, like I was fortunate to have my daughter give me the push.
Right.
So like I'm giving them the push, like I'm giving them the motivation. So it's just like choose a Nike Air Force One, put whatever design you want on it, and I'm gonna put it like it's gonna be like a competition, like a March Madness bracket. Like this person goes against this person. We vote, talk about it or whatever, and the winner, I'll make the shoe for you. It'll be like 1-on-1. You'll be the only person with it, and then I'll give you $1,000 and some paint supplies and stuff to like help start your career. I'm trying to give people the tools to make their own business, so they ain't gotta work for nobody.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. And the fact that you're doing it independently, right? It's really inspirational. And so thank you for breaking it down, because I'm looking at this, I'm going, okay, who drew this, who drew that? And I'm going, wait
It's
a minute.
lot.
Yeah.
It's like I was getting something to my phone this morning when I woke up. I was like, I got to do this first, and then I'm gonna post it. It's a lot.
So how does that work, though? How do you qualify the individuals? Like, where do they go?
That's what I'm saying. It's no rules, no qualifications. You can have as many entries as you want. Just be you.
And so, but how does a person even get involved? Like, do they have a particular website that they need to go to? Like, what does that? Is there a season too? I know. I was looking at it and I'm going, oh my gosh.
As long as you the only rule is just use the hashtag Jigga ID, so I know where to find it, and then so when I click it, everything is there, and I just go through it.
So it's hashtag Jigga,
ID.
which is 2 G's, in case y'all don't know, and with ID, right, so that you're able to identify the person sending it, right? And then, so you're saying through this contest that you do monthly, I want clarity, right? You basically make it almost like a battle, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is
I'll be telling people, competition is the only way you're gonna be on your toes. It keeps you on your toes. If somebody is nice, you don't want to be second to nobody, so it'll keep you. You feel me? That's how I got to where I'm at. I used to challenge myself.
Right.
So.
Right. So then you put these sneakers to battle, right? They're battling each other. Well, sneakers or boots, right? It made me right away. I was like, of course, it's part of the hip hop culture. Battling with the up rocking and all of that, right? So you're doing it in an art form, and then after you put them up against each other, whomever wins gets an original from you. That's going to be a 1-on-1, and they get money. Do they get mentorship as well?
Yeah, they get people. I do that for free, to be honest with you.
Right.
People hit me up all the time, and I answer. I'm not like Hollywood I answer my messages, and if you need help, I'll help you. If I got the time, I'll help you. I don't got a problem with that.
That's very generous.
I know what it was like when I was reaching out to people for help, and they was leaving me on scene and stuff like that. So I already know what that felt like.
Well, that's awesome, and we're not going to give his number right now. Just follow my Instagram, just in case. But it's great, and thank you for sharing all that you're doing with the passing it forward. But with regards to your business, like, where are you now? Like, do these celebs like hit you up and be like, oh, I want you to design for this particular event or that particular event?
Yeah, that's really how it goes. Like, they hit up my team, or they hit me up directly, and we just get it done. But me personally, I'm just anything art wise, I be venturing out on. Like I just got back into doing tattoos. I'm doing designing clothes. I'm just staying
Right.
busy.
Right. And so, like, if somebody wanted to order, how far in advance do they need to make that order? What does it? How long does it take you to design?
It depends. It depends on like the project, the due date, the concept, my schedule. So it just all depends. Cause some things you can get done to you like next day if need be. Some days may take longer. Like so, it's just all on the situation.
Oh my gosh, I'm listening to you. I'm like, he's such an artist. Like, he's like so flexible. He's like, well, you
Yeah,
know,
cause
it depends.
this is my job. You feel me?
And so before we go, we cannot end this segment without talking about the sanitation trucks, New York. Okay, 'cause I think that's so dope. Like,
That was fun.
how'd you get that?
I seen it on Instagram, and I remember my oldest daughter. I think one of her friends told her about it or something, and like me and her, like we're real competitive. So she was like, "Oh, Dad, I bet you can't do that." It's like, "All right." Yeah. So I told my manager, I said, "Yo, sign me up." And she was like, "You sure?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna win it anyways." And I'm sorry, I'm blunt about it. I was like, "Yeah, I know I got this." It was what it was. It was cool though.
And so, how old is your daughter now?
My oldest daughter, she's 13. She actually helped me because it took me like 7 days to do the truck.
To do the truck?
And the last day,
Oh, look, we're looking at the truck right now.
oh yeah, the last day she came to help me. I needed her too. I ain't gonna lie.
I gotta be honest with you. They should paint all the trucks like this because
Yeah.
it's just something. Wow,
it's
you
good
really
on the
outdid
eyes.
yourself.
It's good on the eyes.
It is good on the eyes, and you know, distraction from the smell.
That too.
It's like you put all your focus on that
Yeah.
sense, and
So
then
when I
you
see them, I seen a couple of them, and I was like, oh, and my mind doesn't register like, oh, it's a garbage truck. Like, don't go near it. Like, my mind's like, oh, it's art. I want to go near it or take a picture. Stuff
right,
like that. So.
right. Good one. So how many you did? One.
Mm-hmm.
One, and then where does it go from there?
I don't know. Hopefully they hire me for more jobs. I know it's running around in the Bronx. Everybody always hit me up. Like they send me pictures. Like, oh, I just seen your truck. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, oh. All right.
So if somebody who's watching comes across the truck, what hashtag should they use?
Hashtag. I don't know.
We'll just say Jigga ID because those are the ones he tracks.
Yeah.
Even though it's unrelated to your contest. But no, the idea is that, you know, you're keeping record of it.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful idea, and congratulations on your win, even though you knew you were going to
Appreciate it.
win anyway. But it's wonderful quality time that you're spending with your daughter as well. And
Because my schedule can be hectic. And I got 3 daughters now, so
And you got
it can be
3?
hectic.
Oh my.
So I got to make time for it could be hectic.
Yeah, well, before we go, in closing, would you say art keeps you young?
Keeps me young, alive, out of trouble, motivated, and focused.
And so what would you say to an artist that's watching who is trying to figure out how to make a career or a living out of it?
I would give them the same advice I gave myself. Just stay consistent and keep going. Like, it's one day at a time. You can't focus on what the next person is doing, what the next person's got, because that stuff will mess with your head. It's kind of hard not to, like social media and stuff, but it'll mess with your head. Because it used to mess with my head. Like, I'm 1,000 times better than this person, but they got this and that. Just focus on yourself. You're in competition with yourself. Whatever you made yesterday and whatever you're making today, battle what you did yesterday. Like, don't worry about what nobody else is doing. None of that. Just, it's all about yourself. You got to stay focused. That's the only way to make it.
That is so what's up. That's great advice, actually. You should show up every single day as a better version of yourself. Mm-hmm. That was Jigga, artist and fashion designer. And if you're interested on more of everything that we discussed, you can visit him on Instagram at Jigga, what Jigga, who, with underscores in between, which means it would be Jigga, underscore, what, underscore, Jigga, underscore, who.